Get started. Qam YASHARALA, all praises belong to the Most High.
Yes.
All right, welcome to our first Shabbat of the year, and we're doing Hebrew Bible study here at the Augusta Academy. All right, and we're going to do a short breakdown for a few minutes on Matthew chapter 24. Okay, so Qam YASHARALA. All right, this is Elder Ezariah, and this is my wife, Sarah. You say it loud.
Sarah.
Okay, and of course, we got the kids over here. Say, Qam YASHARALA. All right, Shalawam. So, without any further ado, we go ahead and get started.
Okay.
I'm going to let my wife read it, and we all interact, okay? Go ahead, baby.
All right, okay, let's get started. We do Matthew 24. All right, so Matthew 24. All right, so it says signs of the age, of the end of the age. Yeshua left his temple, and was walking away each when his disciples came up to him and called his attention to his buildings. Okay, who's gonna read the next one? Go ahead. Go ahead.
But he answered them, "You see all these, do you not? Surely I say to you, there will not be left here one stone upon another that will not be thrown down." Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when will these things be, and what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" Verse 4.
Go ahead.
Go.
And
We'll take turns reading it.
Yeshua answered.
Yeshua answered them, "See that no one leads you astray."
There you go.
All right. So everyone leads you astray. In other words, what that means?
Means don't let no one take over you.
No, don't let anyone deceive you.
There you go.
Okay? All right? So, and we're living Bible prophecy today. All right? We got people like Al Sharpton. We got so many false black leaders, especially the women, who are not supposed to have authority. That tells us that in 1 Timothy chapter 2, who are making decisions for our people and leading us astray. Okay? And we must be aware of what it tells us in Deuteronomy 28. Okay? How it also mentions how we will be deceived. Okay? All right? And our leaders will cause us to err. Okay? That's also in Isaiah. All right? So you're going to see a lot of that happening. Okay? All right? Verse 6. And you will hear of wars. It's my favorite part. And rumors of wars. What's happening now? The whole thing with Iran. All of that. See that? The latest news is, Russia is getting into it too. They with Iran, and they're backing them up. All right, a Russian ship nearly collided with an American ship. You see that? So things are ramping up. All right, for the Third World War.
Yep.
So it will be happening in our lifetimes. So, and this precepts Ezekiel 38, the battle of Armageddon. Okay, it's almost upon us. The only thing that's left before that happened is Revelation chapter 13, where where they already started, promoting the mark of the beast, but it will be official. You see that? Everyone will have to get, this mark or whatever, this thing inside them, in order to buy or sell. You see that? So you're going to look at a collapse of the government, a cashless society. You see that? And they're going to do away with credit. Now it's going to be having a chip. You see that? Implanted inside of you, which is why going back in the 70s, they were promoting stuff like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, all of these things with transhumanism. You see that? And they got some clown called Elon Musk, okay, degenerates, and all these people coming forth, Bill Gates, letting people know what they plan to do for the future. And it all lists breaks down to Matthew, what Christ is prophesying in Matthew 24. All right? You see? So you're going to have transhumanism, diseases, famines, all of this stuff that we're reading on here. And okay, so watch this. All right. Okay, rumors of war, see that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, but the end is not yet. So we're not to be alarmed when these things are happening, not for the elect. Okay, the ones who can see, the ones who obey in his law, statutes, and commandments. Watch this. Verse 7, for nation will rise against nation. See that? All right? All these nations are building up against America. And kingdom against kingdom. Well, the nation against nation, those are your race wars. Nation is short for nationality. Okay, racism is increasing around the world. You see that?
Yes.
And then kingdom against kingdom. Now you're dealing with countries, and there will be famines. What did I mention earlier? Famines. That's a lack of food. You see, Bill Gates said there will be diseases. Famines also dealing. Well, that's pestilences. And that's mentioned as well. Okay, so there will be shortage of food, there'll be diseases, all of these things will ramp up. Okay, and earthquakes, you see that? All right, in various places, you see? All right, also, not to mention, and that's what happened in Puerto Rico.
Earthquake.
Massive earthquakes. They're practically devastating that country. You see? So, and Australia is up in flames. California was up in flames. And famine, lack of food, poverty. In California, they have tons of cities where they got what they call tent cities or something like that. A lot of homelessness is ramped up. Last year alone, it quadrupled. And UFO sightings. So you're seeing the Most High turning this world upside down to free his people. See, so these are exciting times for the Israelites, those who can see, those of the elect, okay, those who are studying this Bible and into the scriptures, okay? All right. Verse 8, all these are but the beginning of birth pains. Then they will deliver you up for tribulation. Okay, who are they targeting now? The Israelites, labeling us as terrorists. All these false flags, stuff like that. You see that? And then we're going to watch a video today by a brother's with GMS, and he exposing all these wicked black leaders who are part of the agenda to set up Israelites. You see? All right? That's verse 9. Then they will deliver you up for tribulation and put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. You see that? All right? Why? Because he's not dealing with Christians. Okay? It simply means followers of Christ. And the original Christians were and still are Israelites. We tell you that in Acts, the book of Acts. You see that? Our ancestors were first called Christians. Why? Because we were following Christ. You see, it had nothing to do with Gentiles. That's the study of Hellenism. When you study Hellenism, all of that, okay? The apostles were dealing with Israelites. who were being called Gentiles. Okay, that's where the part where it said that dealing with clean and unclean. Okay, the clean Israelites were the ones who were obeying the commandments and eating clean food and all of that. You see that? All right. So, but the namesake of Christ and the Most High is His people who are named after Him. Okay, and they have slave documents to prove that. When we were when we were forced and kidnapped and brought to America, okay, we had Hebrew names. You see that? Christ had a Hebrew name. His name wasn't Jesus. Okay, that name was is false because there were no J's in the Hebrew. Okay, they didn't create the letter J until the early 1500s, where a Catholic monk was experimenting with the letter I and put a hook at the bottom of the I. So it's impossible that his name was Jesus or Jehovah. Okay, you have Jehovah Witnesses that committed blasphemy by altering and coming out with their own Bibles. You see, they injected those names. See, and because lawlessness will be increased and the love of many will grow cold, and we see that happening more and more now. But this is my favorite verse, and then after this, baby, we'll get to reading around. Verse 13. This is the part that we need to remember. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. So we must endure all these persecutions, whether it's shutting down our videos, falsely accusing us, false arrests, which is happening more and more, right?
Yes.
Okay, more racism, more feminism. What else? Also, job discrimination against black men. That's ramping up. You see that?
Yes.
Why? Because they don't want our finances to improve. Everything is it's like we're under we're being persecuted. Okay, they don't want. They're trying to keep us in poverty. That's why they're cutting off food stamps. All of these things, and then they getting rid of Social Security. You see that? So a lot of things are ramping up that fit right along with Bible prophecy. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's go to. All right, go ahead. Read verse 14.
In this gospel of the kingdom will be preached,
Will be proclaimed.
will be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all
Or
nations,
testimony.
to all testimony,
To all nations.
to all nations, and then the end will come.
You see, and that's what Israelites, the Israelite men are doing, like myself. We're proclaiming. We're, through YouTube. The word is all out there, right? The elect have been sealed. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, are being sealed, Salakia. Okay, and then the end will come, and we're seeing the beginning stages of the end. You see?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
So,
Verse 15. So when you see the abomination to the
of desolation
spoken
by the prophet.
by the prophet Daniel.
And there's also mentioned, Christ also mentioned this in Luke 21.
Yes.
It's a part where he told us to flee to the hills wilderness, the Middle Passage, that being Africa. You see that? That wasn't our homeland. Our homeland was in Jerusalem, which was occupied by the Romans. You see, it's an occupation. Okay? And the descendants of those Romans are still occupying our homeland today. You see that? All right, go ahead. By the prophet Daniel.
Standing in the holy place, Let the
reader
understand.
Okay, that's Jerusalem. Jerusalem is our home. Okay, it mentions that and in Psalms. You see that?
Yes.
All right, babe, you want to read verse 16?
Mm-hmm. That's 16. Then let
A
those.
couple more verses and I'm going to wrap this up.
Then let those who are in Judea
Okay, yeah, we got to wrap it up.
to the mountains.
All right. Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom.